that if you want, maybe you are doing a data that is going to be coming in every month. So I guess so you have a data now, and you're meant to be, it's going to be coming every month. So maybe you have sales data like from your company, and the same data, they have the same columns and everything. So the same data, the same, just that it's different months. So I guess I am meant to be visualizing those data every month. So I guess so basically what you need to do is, what you can do is, you can put those data on a folder, so that whenever, and do whatever you want to do with the folder after you've done your stuff. So I guess so that whenever you put in a new file inside that folder, then so whenever you put in a new file inside that folder, then you will be able, instead of you now doing everything you already did before, it is going to be automatic, it's going to automatically apply the stuff for you itself. So I guess so it's going to automatically apply the stuff, everything you already did before is going to add, the new one that you just added is going to apply to that data too. So I guess if you're using a chart, if you're using a table now, you're visualizing uh, sales that you made in every month. So I guess so you want to see the sales made in every month. So if you add the new month, so if you add the new month to that folder, so you don't need to start adding it to it. So you just need to add it to that folder that you already brought into your Power BI. So getting it. So if you add it to that folder that you already brought into your Power BI, then Power BI will automatically help you to add that new month into the visuals that you already have there before. So it's going to help you add that new month into the visuals that you already have there before. So I'm going to show you an example. So I have a data. I'm going to open. So I have a data here. So you see this data here. This is it. So this data is a sales made in every year. So getting total sales that we made, like a company made in every year. So getting it. So let me open up the data so you can actually see the inside. So you see what you
Please,
have there.
Mr. Kingsley,
Yeah. Hello,
please,
sir.
yeah, please, let me just, I beg, they've just brought my light. Let me just revert to the system,
All
please.
right. All right. All right.
Please, just give me 2 to 3 minutes to put on. They've just brought my light here.
Okay, Miss Bumi just
Please.
sent herself.
Okay, hey, you can let me just connect. I'll be back.
Okay. Hello, Miss Bumi. You're welcome. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Mr.
Yeah.
Kingston.
Welcome. I heard that you felt a little bit sick. That's why you left the class the other day.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hope you are getting better now.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
So Miss Jude said he wants to revert to his system so that he can continue. So please let's just give him a little bit, like 2 minutes before we'll get started. We continue.
Okay.
Okay, but I can explain what I already talked about something with him, so I can actually explain it to you too before
Okay.
he can. Okay, so what I was saying to him is that basically I want to retake the last class, so I want to just brush up the surface because of you guys that were not there at the ending. I already talked about it at the end, but I'm going to brush it up. So the reason why you need to bring in sometimes you need to bring your data from a folder is that maybe you in your company you have a data that the same corresponding data that they have like every month. You guys, every sales that you guys make every month, they record it in one data. So I get it, and you need to be putting it together. So I get it. For example, we are creating a visual with that data that you want to know total amount made in every month. So I get it. So every total amount made in every month should be showing. And in that visual that your boss already has the visuals, but you want the total amount to be showing every month. So I get it. So that anytime they give you any new months file, you can just it will just automatically add to that one that you already have there instead of you being the one to go and visualize it again and do other. So basically that's where your folder comes in. So the folder basically helps you that whenever you have your a new month, so maybe I already did my visuals now. Whenever I have a new month, maybe I have a new year data. Like this one I have is for 2016. Maybe I have 2017. So what I can do is just put that data into the folder there. Everything I already added to that folder, everything I already did when I brought the folder inside Power BI would affect it if I add in new one. So what it's going to do is if I add in new data into that folder, it will automatically add that new file into the visual that I did, the way I did the other ones. So it's going to add that new file into that visual to be visualized instead of me now coming back to come and do the same thing I did for the other one. It's just going to automatically, even if I did clean up to it and everything I did to it, as far as it's in that folder that I already did the same thing to before, it's going to everything is going to be applied to it. So everything is going to be applied to that folder so that I don't need to. So this will help me so that I don't need to be coming every month. So you see, it makes my job easier. So everything I need to do is already there. So I just need to put that folder and it's going to be adding. So if I put the new folder, all I need to do is just refresh my Power BI. It's going to automatically affect my visual. And if I what I need to do, if I go to the dashboard too, where my online space, which is the service part, I just need to refresh to, it's going to also apply to that place so that my boss will also be keep on seeing it. I don't need to start doing another visual for him to see. So I get in everything is going to be applied to that place because I'm adding it to that folder. So that's the main reason why you use a folder, because it helps you know, the same data. But the thing about another thing about the folder is that it has to be the same data. It has to be not the same data. Like the data has to be corresponding. Like something I have here. If you can see my table, I have ID, I have the two. The 2016, the 2017 notes still has to have the same thing. So it's going to be has to have the same thing because it's coming from the same people it's the same people that are doing the same sales, right? And everything is the same. So I get it. So it's going to come the same way like this for me. So I get it. So if I just add it there, it's automatically approved. So, but if the thing is not corresponding when you're combining a folder, it's going to give you null. So it's going to okay, I think it's going to. It's going to work actually. It's going to combine, but you're going to have too many errors there. All those the place that data does not correspond, it will show null, empty spaces there. I get in it. So that null means empty. There's nothing there. So I get in it. So anyway that the thing does not correspond, you see null. So that's why you need to make sure that the table that you are visualizing, or the data that you're putting inside the folder, that they are the same data. So you have to make sure that the table that you're putting inside the same distance, they are the same data, so that whenever the thing goes in there, I can just after doing that, I don't need to go and do the visualization again. I don't need to do the cleanup, taking it to Power BI. I just need to put that file in my folder and then go to my Power BI and just refresh. I can even set up my auto refresh so that it refresh by itself. I don't need to go there and refresh it myself. So I guess it has auto refresh itself. It always refresh. Like I can set my auto refresh too on it. So that's something another thing I can, or if I do not set it, I can also just come in and just refresh, and data will automatically be added to my visuals for me. So I'm going to show you that. So to do that now, let's say I have something like this now, this data. You see, I have this sales data for a company, and this company, you see, they have what the product they sold, their country code, and everything is here. So I have this for 2016 now. So I want to create a visual with this data I have here. So, but I have for other data, other months. Don't know this, not this is it here. So this is the folder. So I have for 2016, 2017, 20. So I want to merge them together so that everything I am creating for 20, anything I'm doing is going to be showing. So I guess but what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove one of them. I'm going to remove the 2019. I'm gonna add it later, but I'm gonna remove it for now. Let me put it here. So I'm gonna remove it for now. See, this is it. I'm gonna remove it for now, but I'm gonna add it later. So this is the folder that I want to upload now. So to upload the folder, I just come to my Power BI here. Go to get data and go to more. I go to get data and go to more. So it's loading. So let's wait to load. So just click on folder, then connect. So I just select the folder part. So the folder is in desktop. So go to desktop. Let me go to this PC, desktop, and the one I want to get is sales class. So sales class, select it and then click on OK. So OK, then I can click on OK here. So when I have that now, so basically what I can do with this now is I can actually just click on combine and transform here, and it will just do that for me. It will combine the data and transform it for me, and I will use it. I can also do combine and load. Combine and load means I'm not going to take it to Power Query. So combine and load is after combining the data together, I just want to load it into Power BI Direct. I don't want to go to Power Query. So I can say, but for this one, I want to, maybe if I want to combine, I want to combine it, I want to also transform it. Maybe there's errors there I want to remove and all that. But for this, I'm not going to combine it. I'm going to just say transform for now. So when I transform, it's going to take me to Power Query. So inside Power Query now, I have my data like this. So after doing that, so what I need to do is I can come here and just remove all this data myself. All these ones are just information about the data. So I just information about it. So this insertion means that this is an Excel file. This one means that uh this is the date accessed, each time you access data and the date accessed. So modified date, you can see that. And all these ones are just but if it's going to help me, Power is going to help me clear all those one out if I combine the data. So what I just need to do is combine. So I just need to combine the data. So it's combining for me. So it's combine. You see something at the edge of this content part. So that's where you just click on combine. So after clicking on combine, you come. Then in here, they're going to ask you which sheet do you want to use? Which parameter do you want? Parameter means which sheet. So I guess so you might have more than one sheet inside that table, inside your different Excel. So I guess you might have two sheets there. But in that sheet, you have one sheet that you want to import. Maybe you don't want to import it. So if you want to import the two of them, you can actually do that. But if it's just one you want to import. But for my own, I already have one. So I'll just click on the one I have. It's going to show me here. But if you have another one, you will also see it there. So you can just click on it and select that one you want to import. So here is it's going to ask you the file, the sample file. So which file is all this is going to be combined in? So you need to have a file that is which in one of the file that is combined, you're going to combine everything to. Maybe you're getting it. So you're going to combine all these files to one. So I'm going to be using the first one, which is the 2016 or 2016. So I just click on first file. So it's going to load. Then click on OK. So let's wait. It's combining. Now I have my data combined. So you can see now. Let's see. I have 2016. If you look at here, I have 2016, I have 2017, I have 2018. Can you see it, Miss Bumi? I have 2016, 2017, and also 2018 down here. Everything combined. So everything is so now because the column, all of them correspond because it's the same data format that they are using for everything. You see that everything, there's not going to be an error there. Everything's going to be clean and neat because you have the same format for them. So I have my data combined. So I have 2018, 2017, 2016 data here. So I get it. So I have that here. So now transformation. So the transform that we were asking about that day is that the transform is basically used now to do another. You want to clean. You don't want, maybe for example now the visual that I want to do is not everything. I don't want to use all the columns I have here now. I want to use some of the columns, not all of them. So I want to use some of them to do the visual, not all of them. So I can now transform the data and transform the file, not data, transform the file, and then remove the ones I don't want to use, and then leave the ones I want to use. So I'm going to remove the columns I don't want to see. I have plenty columns here. If maybe I don't want to use some of the columns, I can just remove it with my transform and then leave the one I want to use. So what I can do to get that is Power BI, Power Query, what it does is when it combines it for me, it's going to go through all those stuff for me. If you go through these applied steps, you see what it did. So for this one is change type and all these ones. But if you come to this remove other column, so you see this is where this thing is now. So you get it. So here we can see the transform file. So basically, Power BI helps us do everything. You have the source, first one, which is the source. Sorry, it's coming. So where the data is coming from, the source and everything here. So we have filtered files. So you filter some of the files. So you see, we have the source before, but we filter some of the file that's not needed. Then you have invoke column. So the column that it evokes now is this transformation column, the tables. So I guess the tables inside, that's the column invoked. So I guess so now I have we rename some of the columns, you rename them, then it removes other columns. So it removes other columns, which are all these columns here. That's what it removes. So now, if we want to remove the column inside our own table, that's all those tables are there. So we want to remove some of the columns. So that's where we use the transform file. So now the transform file is going to be seen if you remove some of the apply stuff, if you remove the change before the table, before they expand the table, before the table gets expanded, you see the transform, you see the source name and the transform. So here now I can click on this drop down here, this one that is like combining here. So this is basically for me to transform. So here now I can see all the columns, the title I have there, all the columns there. So what I can do now is I can uncheck the ones I don't want. I can uncheck the ones I don't need there. So the ones I don't need, I can uncheck them. So total, if I don't want total, total profit. So basically what I want to use, maybe what I want to use for the visual that my boss said I should do is just for I just want the order, the date, the product, units, quantity, sales quantity, total profit. That's what I want to use. So I can just select, remove all the columns. So select the ones I want to use. Maybe I want to use date, product, country code, unit cost, unit price, unit quantity sold, and then total profit. I don't want to see total cost, so I want to see total profit. And then I can click on, okay, so basically before clicking on, okay, you have to make sure that it's on expand. So the expand is basically means you want to expand the whole table that are in this place. You see this thing here is tables. So everything, there are different tables. If you click on them, you see, you can see the tables there. Everything, there are different tables. So that's basically what the expand does. So the expand helps us expand that file. But so everything, so you see, click here, you see the tables that you have here. All these ones are tables that I have here. So you see, we have another table. So everything. So this expand is basically used to expand those tables and open up everything in there so that you can see it. So you want to see everything there so that you can see everything. You want to combine everything together. But now I don't want to see all those columns. So I want to transform, I want to remove some of the columns. So I getting it. So I want to remove some of the columns. So that's why I'm saying, remove the columns I don't want to use. So I don't want to use total cost, total price. I don't want to use unit cost, I can say. Okay, let's say unit cost can stay, unit price can go. So depending on the one I want to use, so I can just click on them. Then expand means I want to open up all this table and I want to show all this one that I selected. So I'm going to click on expand for now. So expand now, you see, it transforms everything and open everything up for me. So now you see that all those ones like I removed, so you see, unit price is not here. Total price is not here. Total cost is not here. So I can because I already removed all those ones. I already transformed and I already removed it. Like I said, so that's basically what the transform does. It helps us transform the file that we don't want to use everything. We want to like transform, we want to remove some of the column, we want to make some changes to it, not the way the combine is leaving it. So we want to add some other changes to it, not the way the combine is leaving it. So I guess in it, I want to make other changes to it. That's basically what I use the transform to do. So that's basically what I use the transform to do. So I have the transform done everything for me. So I remove the color I want to remove. So that's that for the expand. So I can also do another thing on the transform where I can aggregate. So aggregate is what aggregate does is instead of expanding the whole thing, it's going to count the number of that thing that you have. So I'm going to bring in just quantity sold and then okay, no, let me just use only order. So I want to get the count of order that we got. So count of order for all the, so count of order, if I click on OK, so aggregate will only just count the order for me. So for 2063, we have uh 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So just displaying the order. Oh, I did not aggregate it, sorry. I just expanded. So after removing all these ones, you select everything and select only and just click on aggregate. Move this from expand to aggregate. So you can see it's showing now what you see what it's showing there. So you say count of order. So that's the count. I want to count that order. So I want to get the count of it. Everything counted together. How many was sold? So you see, if I count, so for 2016, we have 12. For 2017, we have 15. For 2018, we have 19. So that's good. So everything. So we have uh, sales orders in 2018 is 19, orders in 2017 is 15, orders in 2016 is 12. So you getting, so orders and all those stuff is this is it here. So if this is what my boss said I should do, I just count the amount of order we had. I can just do this now. What I can do is close and apply. I'm going to take it to my this thing for me. But I don't want it like this. I just want the full distance. So I'm going to go back and expand instead of aggregate. So I'm going to come back here, come to expand and select all and then click on expand. So after expanding now, I have the whole data here. I have my whole data here. So I have my whole data here. You see 2018, sales 2018, 2017, 2016, and that. So I get in it. So now I can do some basic transformation. I can remove this XLSX here. So I can remove it. So to remove it, I can use replace value. So replace value here, I'll say dot XLSX. That's what I want to replace. I want to replace it with nothing. So I'll replace that there. So you see that 2016, sales 2016 is now standard. So I can change the title of this. So I can change this to source. Let's change it to source. Change this to order only, no transform file there. So you double click to edit it. So double click and remove all this stuff. So don't need it for this thing. Transform. Enter. So enter. So remove this. Enter. Then if I come to total cost, remove this thing behind it. Enter. So if I come here, remove this one behind it and enter. So just want to remove all those stuffs behind them. Enter. So here, so I want to remove this. Enter. I want to remove this one too. And enter. So I have everything removed. So I have everything cleaned up now. So I have something like this is okay. So I can also remove some coin if I don't want to use here, but I'm going to load everything. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close because I already did what I want to do with the data. So I'm going to close and apply. I'm going to close and apply. So let's wait for it to. So it's going to apply. So I have that loaded here for me. So I'm going to close this sheet. I don't need, this is what I want to use here. Sales here. So you see everything added up here for me. So I'm going to create just a basic visual for it, for just for an example. So let's say now, what my boss wants me to do is he wants me to visualize the uh uh total this thing, this what's it called? Sales per year. So let's say I want to quantities, okay, sales quantity per year. So if I put in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a table visual. A table visual. This is it here. So click on it. The table is there. So I can come here now and select my source. So that source is, I'm going to use source the year, which is 20. So I'm going to say for each year, what is the quantity? So, but now because this is not, is not uh counted, it's not counted, it's just going to show expand everything. And so what I can do is let me create a little, I'm going to create a measure. But all these ones I'm doing, all these measures, we're going to still talk about them later. So I guess, so, but I'm going to create a measure here. So the measure I'm going to create is I'm going to count the sales quantity. So I guess, so I'm going to count the sales quantity row. So it's going to open up. Oh, no, I don't want it here. I didn't make a mistake. So I want it to be on this part. So let's remember. So I want it to be on this side, not the other part. So I'm going to select this here to put the measure in here. So I want it to be on this sales class, not in this sheet one. So I'm going to create that measure now. So my measure is count of sales quantity. So count of sales quantity. So now all I need to do is here I'll say count. So I want to count the whole of sales quantity. So I'm going to say sales, because of sales quantity. So sales quantity, then close my bracket and enter. So I'm going to get a count of that. So what I can do now is just bring this count that I measured that I just did and put it in here. So you see what it does now? So instead of me now putting all those instead of me putting all those datas, it should be showing broad like that. So what it's going to do is it's going to count that sales quantity for every year. So I'm getting for 2016, I have 12 for sales, 12 sales for 2016. I have what's it called? I have for 2017, I have 15 sales. for 2018, I have 19 sales. So I guess so I have them like this. So what I can also do is if the sales is very big, if it's a very big distance, so I want to get a particular one, I can use my slicer too. Sorry, I made a mistake again. So I'm meant to click out and put in slicer. So I want to be slicing them by year. So I'm going to bring in the source again, put it in here. So if I click on 2016, I want to see the one for 2016. Because 2016, only sales made for 2016. And that's I have 2017, sales made for 2017. So my boss can, because this is just a basic visuals for this part. So what I want to show is that now you see, I already created this thing now, but this is just 20, I have the 3 years now. So what if I get another month now? They give me then I finally send the next year for me, everything like which is 2019. So send me the next year, which is 2019, and I need to also visualize that one. So I'm coming. So I need to also visualize that one. I need to also visualize that one. So what I need to do is just I don't need to now create any other time. I just need to go to that my where the folder is. So the folder I'm trying to so this is the no, not this one. Not this one too. Let me minimize this. So this is the folder here. So what I need to do, and this is the 2019 data here. So what I need to do now is I just need to add this 2019 data into that folder. So add the 2019 data into that folder, then come to my Power BI, then just come to refresh data. So if I refresh this, let's refresh and see. So it's refreshed. So let's wait. So now I see that 2019 it automatically enters here. So I don't need to go and be doing all those stuff for it. 2019 automatically enter here. So I can just click on 2019. I get the sales for 2019. So I get it. So that's basically how folder, the benefit of using folder. So I get it. It helps you with something like this. You don't need to now start going back there and start doing all those stuff. So because you already did everything on that folder, if you add the new sales, as far as the new sales table and the new sales column is corresponding, everything is okay, they are the same table. So everything, so they are corresponding, it's going to help you do the same thing that you did for the other one to that one. So you can just add it automatically to that place. I can just visualize it. So I guess so if I want to clean filter, I have everything. I have 2019, sales 2019, 2018, 2017, and 2016 in there. So do you understand? Do you understand? Miss Bumi, do you understand now? Mr. Jude, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
that's
do.
nice. Miss Bumi, do you understand?
Partially.
Okay, so where are you having an issue so that I can? Is it basically on everything or just there is a particular place that you're having an issue?
I understood how you add that 2019 file, but the steps
Okay.
you from when you got the data
When I
to
got it, like,
when you got the data to where you transform it.
okay. So I'm going to go back to that. So I'm going to, Mr. Kojo, you understand? I already explained the other day at the class. I know you already understood.
Yes, I understood the previous lesson.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so I'm going to go back for Miss Bumi because I want her to understand too before we move on to the next one I have. So what I'm going to do is let me close this up. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to use another data since I already used this one. So it's still like the same sales, but I want to bring it in here so that I can just, instead of closing and opening again. So what I'm going to do is so basically what I do is I'm going to get a folder. So I get in, and I have sales inside that folder. I have like maybe it can be monthly sales, it can be your yearly sales. I get it. So yearly sales, it can actually be your student. If it's student data, maybe you have SS1 data, SS2 score, the table score, SS3. So I get it. I want to join them together so that I can just do some visuals about them. So you want to know the highest score in SS2, highest score in SS3, highest score. So you don't want them to be in different tables. You want them to be in one table. So I get it. And you also have for other ones that are still coming. So, but you have just for SS1 and SS2 now. And you want to first of all visualize that one. Then someone interested is Mr. Jude. You can say what you want to say, if I can say.
Yeah, Mr. Kisley.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, these steps that we've applied for folder, is it also applicable to PDF? You know, like you get data from a PDF document with an array of of information like
Yeah, you
this.
can.
Is this same step applicable to PDF is like a static document, like a
Yes,
folder that you can always add, and it would, if you refresh, it will update.
update.
In the
Yeah.
terms of
So
PDF, yeah.
So for PDF, it's just one static folder. PDF is just like Excel. You know, Excel now will have one static sheet there. So I guess you have one sheet that will, like for folder now, this folder that we are importing is full of Excel files. So I guess it's different from Excel file, but we are importing it from folder. So I guess because we want to be putting in more this thing there, and we can get, if we put in more, so it just helps us do the visualization itself. That's basically what the folder does. So the folder can be that it can be for PDF. It can be full of PDF documents. I guess different PDF for the documents. It can be any other file. So I guess so it's just because it's not just Excel. But if you want to just bring only PDF in, you can bring only PDF in. That's what I'm bringing, but you cannot bring in the PDF. Cannot be like a folder that has this one here, this one here. So I guess so but with this one you have here, unless you have different pages in the PDF, you have different, but in that still in that different pages, it's just still like Excel sheet. Like I said, you have different sheets that you can bring in.
Okay.
Do you get it? So what you can do in that aspect is you can do your merge or you append. I'm going to show you that one is still another one. So this folder and that one is kind of different. So I guess I'm going to show you that one too in this class. So I guess
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So let's continue with this. So so what I do now is bring in my folder for the, I have another one I want to make sure. So let's wait for it to load. So come to my folder here now, click on connect. Then go to the folder, browse the folder that I want to connect to. So I want to connect to this folder here. So I'm not going to use this one again. Let me use another folder. There's one folder I have too. Let me check where it is. So I'm going to connect to this folder here. I think this is here. Okay. I'm going to remove this one. I don't need this. So I just need this two. So I guess so I'm going to connect to this folder. This is the sales folder for, you see, we have January 1st and January 2nd. I'm going to connect to that. So come to, it's in desktop. So I'm going to go to desktop. I say desktop document. So this PC document and go to the sales data. So sales data, this is the name here. Click on OK. Then click on OK here. So we are coming to that. You have the two data here. So now, as I said before, it's quite easier to just click and combine here. So you can click and combine and transform here, and it's going to do the same thing for you as combining in that same place. So let me just go through the way I did it before. So after combining, I can come here. I just did transform, I did not combine it. So in here, I can combine. So in here, I can combine the two files. So you can see these two files, they are in this binary list together. What I can do is I can combine these two files together now. This is the two files. So this is my combine button here. So you can see combine files. Well, if you look at if I'm over over that, you see, it's saying combine files. And if you come to this combine file up here, I see the combine button here. You see the same thing because this table is selected. If you're not selected in that table, you see or because we have a table to combine here. So I can either do it from here, I can do it from here. So I get it depending on where I want to do. So I can, so I'm going to do it from this part. So I'm going to say combine files. So it's going to help me combine those two files together. To help me combine the two files together. So now in this file, I have two sheets. I have the data sheet and the sheet 3. So data sheet and sheet. So now I don't want to use the two sheets. I want to use just one sheet for the data I want to do. So I guess and the sheet I want to do is the data. So basically now in the other sheet, in the other file I have, you have to make sure that you have data sheets there too. There should be a data sheet there. Right? There should be data sheet. So because the data sheet is going to work, so I'm going to select this one I want to visualize here, this data sheet here. So I come to this part now. So this one is going to ask me for the sample file. So in which file do you want to combine everything to? So you have two files here now. So which one do you want to combine this one to? So I want to combine 2017 January 1st, January 2nd to January 1st. So I'm going to choose the first file. So it's going to help me advise choose the first file, which is January 1st. So select the January 1st, which is the first file. Click on data and click on OK. Then the combining is going to start. So it's going to combine the data for me. So let's wait for it to make its combination. So it's already done. So I just need to click here and come to my Power Query bar. So you see that the two data has been correct. So you see I have January 1st from here. So if I scroll down, I have January 2nd. So like I said, so I have January 1st name, the receipt for January 1st, the location, so the customer name and customer mobile, I'm waiting for January 1st. But now, looking at this sheet, you see I have some this thing that I don't need. You can see like these ones, they're empty. This customer pin code, customer state, customer, all these ones they are empty. I don't need them. So I want to remove them. I don't want to use them for my visual because it's not going to make it. So that's where I need to transform now. So I need to transform because I need to remove some of the data there. They are not useful for me. So I need to remove, or maybe they are useful, there are something inside it. But the visual that I want to use is not going to contain them. There's no need for them to be in that place. Like I it in the visual I want to do, so I can remove them. So what I do to remove them is there are two steps that you can do. You can just select them here and say remove column. It will work perfectly. If I select this one, select all of them and say remove column, it's going to remove them. But I can also do my transform. So to do transform, Power BI already did the transform for us before here. I have already, so this is where I can transform the file. So you see the two table here, I can transform the file. So now transforming the file, I can filter out some stuff that I don't need. So I can filter out some stuff that I don't need. So here uh so these are basically data. So I don't need some of them. So I'm going to just select everything. I select the ones I need. So I need the receipt, the column location, the customer name, customer mobile, customer email, address, customer city and state, customer city and state. So basically this is what I want to use for my visuals now. So I can just click on okay. So if you are clicking on okay, why is it on expand? So basically what it's going to do is it's going to combine the ones that you selected that you want to see. It's going to combine the whole table that they're getting it. It's going to remove all these ones, all these columns. All these ones are columns. Are getting it? From in that table, in each of the table, they have these columns inside it. So but some of these columns, I don't need them. I want to remove them. So I getting it? So I want to remove them. So I already removed the ones I don't want to use. So now expanding it is going to expand the ones that I selected. Then all these ones that are not selected are not going to be added into that my data again. It's going to be removed. So I getting it? It's going to be removed. So the aggregate is what it's going to do is going to count the row. How many of this serial number do you have? How many of this location do you have? How many of this customer name do you have? How many of this customer mobile number do you have? That's basically what it's going to do for you. It's going to count it. So it's basically count, just like using count function in Excel. So it counts all the row you have, the one that contains numbers. That's what it is. But this one is not doing with number, even if it's text or anything, it's going to count it. That's it's aggregating. So so it just counts that for me. That's the aggregate. So but in this one, it expands it. It shows me everything in there. So it shows me the data, the ID itself. It's not counting. It's just going to be showing me this is the receipt number 123. So it's the receipt number 123. So you have location, Abuja, location, Lagos. So and this one have the customer name, Joy, Peter. So, but in the aggregate, it's going to count them for me. Maybe if you count them, we have 20 customer names. It's going to count. You're going to give me 20. So you have 26 customers. It's going to give me 26. That's the aggregate. That's the difference between the expand and the aggregate. So the aggregate counts. The expand expands the data so that you can see the serial number yourself. It's not just counting. It's going to you're going to see the serial number yourself. So then for this I'm going to do expand. So I'm going to say expand. So it's going to expand that for me. Now after expanding it, now you see I have so not all so but it's still in some of them I have empty. This like customer address is 0 is empty. The the state customer state is so these two are empty. So what I would do is I want to remove them. So what I can also do like this. I'm just selecting them. I'm just selecting them. Oh, sorry. Let's comment and click on this. So select like this. So this one, select this, and that's that. So come up here and see remove columns. So remove columns. I have other columns removed. I have other columns removed now. So I can also change the name for this. So I can change the name to name. Transform all these ones to name. So I have the name there. So I can I can now separate and rename. So rename, I want to remove some of those data there. So I want to remove belt XLSX. So XLSX like this, something like this is okay for me. And have something like this. Or I can also remove this sales man. I can just say sales January 1st, sales. So I guess in it. So let me remove that one. So I'm going to replace sales underscore B. So what did I stop before the network went off? I don't even know if I have gone far before. I didn't know when the network went off. So I was still talking till this started conversing. So is this where we get stuck again before I network went off?
No, we were trying to rename each of the column
You are trying to
after the
remove the
extension.
extension. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I already did that. So to do that, you just rename. Okay, so let me just I already rename. Let me go back. So this is the extension here. I want to remove them. So remove rename. So dot. So I can also, let me just do sales underscore uh, underscore gen first. Okay, so I need the gen first. Let me just put I want to remove the dot x. Yes. Mm. So let's not replacing because they're in different positions. Let me do them differently. I was maybe it was gonna go well. There are different positions, so I have to do it separately. So sales underscore underscore. So I want to do this now. I want to change it to sales only. Sales. Why isn't my
No, it appears it is case sensitive. Instead of
Hmm.
starting with small letter S, just
Let's
start
try.
with yeah.
Sales. Okay. So it's working. So sales underscore. Okay. Okay. O E underscore underscore. Let's put it just sales. Yes. Okay. Okay. So that's it. So, but it says I want to replace it with I want it to have space. So I'll say sales and just give it a space. I'm sorry. I want to remove sales. Sorry. I want to remove this sales. I want to put in sales with space. Copy here and put space. Okay. So, applying. Okay. Let's do it this way. Slash, G, U, N, E, underscore, replace with sales, underscore. So let's have something like this. Yeah. Okay. And let's remove the X. So dot X, L, X, replace with nothing. So to have that cleaned up. So clean up these ones too. So we need to make our table neat, very neat. Okay, so with that now, so I already did what I want to do. I already have that. Yeah, so what I need to do is just close and apply, and I load in my data to my Power BI to go and use it for my visuals. So it's loading, and let's wait for it to come up. Okay, so receive name, and so I can create a table. So let me create a table where I want to see. I want to know the customer name. Okay, okay, that's the name is the source. So I was meant to put it as source, not name. So let's say the year. So let's say not the name. So the year, which customer, the location that were sold in each year, then the receipts. So I guess so you have that here. So so this is very big because the receipt is very big. So I getting it. Receipt is very big. So what we can do if to do receipt is we can count the row and just put it in there. So for each year, it tells us amount of receipts. But if we want to be seeing the receipts, we can leave it here like this. So another thing we can do is we can create a visual to just use. We can create a slicer so that I can just use to see a particular one, not all. I just want to see a particular. So I'm going to say I want to slice with the I can do slides with every I can do with location. So I want to see the in every year I want to see the location, which a particular location, and I want to see the sale this thing there in every location. So let me just say, but I want to use the year. So let me use the name as this thing. So because we're going to be adding new ones, so I'm going to use the year. So if I slice for January, I say yeah, for January 1st, I see the location sold the location that our customer is coming from in January 1st, and the receipts and their receipts, their other receipts that they have. So you come down to January 2nd, you see the same thing there. So you see for January 2nd. So that I can click out. So I want to see for all, let me bring this thing down. Let me minimize it. And I can clear up to have for the both of them. So now I can add another one. So let's say I want to add another one. So but I don't have for January 3rd, but I'm going to create that. What I can do is let me go to I'm going to open up one of those sheets. So I'm going to open up for January 2nd. Then I'm going to open the data sheet, select some of the data. I'm not using also the ones I want to make use of, select them. So I'm going to use them for January 3rd. So to copy it, I'm going to create a new sheet. New sheet. I'm going to paste this inside. Then I'm going to name it data. The sheet's going to be named data. So that there, you can make waiting. Okay, this is converting. Someone is typing. Let me see. It appears the slicer has a similar function to Excel filter. Yeah, yeah. So it's just slicer is just to filter to a particular area. You want to get a particular data, so you just basically like Excel filter. So let me make this data a bit bigger. And here, so I guess I have this now. So I'm going to save this. I want to save this to that my folder that I have. So I'm going to save this. Save. So it says select your area of where you want to save it to. I want to save it to sales data, and the sales data is in desktop. I want to look for sales data. So this is it here. I want to save it here as I want to save it as January 3rd. So January 3rd, click on OK. So that data has been added there. So if I go to my, let me go to my, let me close this. Let me go to my Power BI now. If I refresh, so just come here and refresh. I just need to, not recent, sorry. Refresh. So this refresh. Let's wait for it to refresh. So it's refreshing the whole data that I have there. So load was cancelled by an error in loading a previous table. Load was cancelled by an error in loading a previous table. What's this error from? So I think one of these tables have an error from it or something. Let's see. Save. Close. Close. Save. So refresh. Wait, still showing the same thing. Okay, from this sales data, there's an issue. The key does not match any rows in the table. I think there's an error. Now let's go and reload it in Power Query. Let's see. So let me go to transform again. Transform data. Let's see. So sales data. So what's the error? It's not added. Fresh. Let's see. So there's an error on that part. An error occurred in this transforming files query expression. This key does not match any row in the table. Did I copy the wrong one? Right. I think I had an error. Let's see. Let me open it back. Okay. Okay. It's correct now. This is it now. Okay, I know the error. I know the error. The error is that if you look at what I have here, let me show you guys. So the error is I copied, the one I copied is different. It's kind of different from this one because you see in these ones, we have other columns here. See? You see all these columns here that are also being worked on whenever you bring in a new one. So I think we should just copy everything. Let's copy the whole, everything on the table. Let's see. I'm going to copy everything. I want to make it the same thing. You know what I just need to do? I don't even need to copy. Let me just save this one as January. So everything is save as. So I can't save it as. Okay, edit is not enabled. Let me go back. Enable edit. So let me just save this one as January 3rd. So I can, instead of copying it to another sheet. So I'm going to save this one as January 3rd, then just load it like that. So replace. So I need to replace one I have there already. Okay, it can't because this one is open. So let me close this. Let me close this first. So I want to save this as here, January 3rd. So yes, I'll save this as this. So replace this for me. And then let's see. Now let's reload. Let's refresh the data. Let's see if it's gonna work. Refresh. Let's see if there's an error there. Okay, so you see, it's working now. So I have January 3rd here. So it's because I copied and the thing was not corresponding. That's why we see it has to correspond. The tables has to correspond. So that's why it did not work. So now I can close and apply the data to that place now. I close and apply. Then come here. It's loading. Okay, should load in this in itself. And I need to still refresh it again. Let's refresh them. So it's refreshed, and then we get our January 3rd in here. So the same thing. So if the new month is coming, I just need to put it in there. The next month, just put it in there. The next month, just put it, and it's going to be just doing. I just need to refresh, and it just be doing this thing for me. It's going to be. It's not just this. Is just a basic visual. If I have big visualization, like you have a big dashboard, the same thing.
I
This
have
is
a question.
yeah, I can hear. I can hear.
Do we put each file in the same folder, or we will be updating the file?
No, you need to put the file in the same folder. That's why we are the reason that's the reason why we are putting we are what's it called, connecting to a folder. So I saying, because we want to be putting any new model we are going to bring, we want to be putting it inside that same folder so that it will automatically bring it in here for us instead of us coming to do that same thing that we saying. So we just need to put it inside that same folder. Then after putting it in that same folder, then refresh it. So when you refresh it, it's going to load that one because it's in the same folder. But if it's not the same folder, it's not going to load it. So it has to be in the same folder. Just put it, basically what you need to do, wherever the folder is, just the new data, just put it in that same folder, and it's going to automatically add it to your listing for you. So you just need to come here and, so if you put the refresh as automatic, it's going to automatically refresh within a certain time you give it. So when you refresh, it's going to add the new data. But if you did not, when you come in, if when you come into your Power BI, you can just refresh. So just refresh this, and that new one I just added will be added there to you. Every cleanup that I did to the other ones will be also be done to that one because it's in the folder as them.
Okay,
You understand
thank
now?
you.
You understand now, Ms. Bimi? Okay, so let's move on. So that's that for the folder area. So
What if you update an existing document in that folder? Does refresh also recognize this in the
yeah,
BI
it will recognize it
dashboard?
when you refresh. So if you update any, it will recognize it. But now, if the same thing
Yeah,
is not done to the other ones, like you not do the same, like you see the error we had that there now when I was trying to do
yeah.
the other one, because I copied part
Mm.
of it, I did not have the
A
whole
part of it, yeah,
yeah.
it didn't have the
So it was
complete.
so it was showing me error because of that. So I get, so you have to make sure that anything that you're changing in that one, you're also changing it in the under other months too. So
What I see essentially is that this Power BI basically is all about creating a relationship between the document you are working with and the BI this thing itself, so that
yeah, so I get, so
whatever changes, whatever amendment is reflected, because there is an existing relationship. There's a relationship between the worksheets or the PDF or the folders to
Power BI.
the dashboard or the Power
Yeah.
BI.
So as far as there's a relationship or is already connected. So as far as there's a connectivity, like there is connected from, maybe you're connecting from Excel. Like anything you update on that Excel, as far as you refresh it here, it's going to be updated. It's going to update in this part. So I guess in it. So it's going to update in this part, even if it's dashboard, even if it's like MySQL dashboard. If you update anything on that MySQL dashboard and you refresh it, that thing is going to be added to your listing, to your to your to your Power BI visual. Even if you use it for visuals like what we did now, it's going to also add to that visualization for you. Do you understand? Okay, so that's that on the folder, getting the folder and combining the folder. So then another way to, so there's a question you asked that time that you said, what if it's like different sheets and you want to combine them together? So what you can do is, maybe there's a sheet I want to use for that. Let's say I have two sheets imported. It's not from folder. I have in my Power Query. Let me do that. So I'm gonna get Excel. Let me check where the file is first. Uh, okay, so there's one sales table I have here. So let's say for the same thing I did here now, what if I got the table, the data, but they are different. So they're not like the same, that they're not in folder. I have different files. So I guess let's say, let me come here now. I let's say let me bring in an Excel file. So come here now. I bring in come to my sales class. I'm going to use sales class for an example. Okay, let me use sales now. This one, I'm going to use this for example. So if I select this and I add it to my data, I want to add it to my data. So let's wait for it to load. So I select the sheet and I load it in to my transform. I want to transform the data. So I have the data here and this. So you see this data just started. So let's say I have another one too, the same, like a corresponding data to this one. So I get in. So it's just like the same thing as the one I folder. They have to, the columns have to match. So I get in. I have this data like that, but they are not in folder. So let me get another one of them. So I'm going to get from here again. So I get 2017. So I guess I have 2017. Bring them in like this now. So I have the same sheet. So select sheet, click on OK. So you see, I have the 2016 and then I have the 2017. So I guess so. Now let's say I want to do the same thing for that one. Now I want to add this 2017 sheet to the 2016. But they're not in the same folder. I'm not going to be able to combine it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to append it. So I'm going to append the query. So these two things are query now. So I want to append this query to this one. So appending it means it's going to add this one to the row of this one. So I guess so to append now, click on this and I come to append query. So append query, I can append the query as a new. So if I want to create it as a new this thing, not to this one. If I don't want to append it to that 2016, I want to create a new one that has the two of them inside. So I guess if I want to create a new one, but if I want to append them I want to append this one to that part. So what I need to do is just click on this append query alone. Then, so it's showing me now how many tables do I want to append. So I have just these two, but if I have three or more, I can just select three or more tables. So I guess in it, I'll just do all these ones. But I have just two, so I'm going to click on two. Then it's going to ask me table to append. So table to append is sheet 3. Click on OK. So let's check that out. So you can see now, look at our sheet now. You can see it now. So I have 2016 and I have 2017. So it's basically like the way I did combining, they have the same column, you just add it under it. So I get it. So I have the 2016 now. So basically you can do something like this if the data you are getting now, maybe we have the same sales data, they are sales, the same sales. So I get it. But they are coming from different places. So this one is coming from Excel and the other one is coming from your MySQL dashboard, but they have the same column and they have the same everything. They are like the same. So I guess and you want to join them together. So this one is helpful in that way. So I guess you can just do something like that for something like this for that one. But if they are just Excel files and they are different and you are going to be getting them monthly, it's better to use the folder that you put it in the folder and it's always going to do the same thing for that one. But if what you want to do is something like, so you just basically need to append the query. So I mean, join the two tables together. So remember, if it's more than 1 year, so you have like 2 or 3 years, 4 years, or months. Like I said, you're getting the sales monthly. So I guess you just do the other way. You append 3 or more tables. So I guess, but if you just because if it's just 2, you just do the 2. Like I said, so you just do the 2, and you have your append query. So you append your query like this. You see, the 2017 has been added because the date order matches. You're going to have your date order, and this one matches. You're going to have this like this. This one matches too. You're going to have this because they match. You're going to have it has also always match. If it does not match, let me show you what it's going to do. If it does not match, so let's say I want to append this query to this one. I want to append this to this. So if I say append queries, so table, I want to do just 2 tables and I want to append this sheet 3. Their column does not match. They are different distance. So 53. I'm gonna append this to it. So it's going to append. But you see, this down part now is going to be showing me null because it does not match. This name column is not in this. So you see, in this name, where the name column is, we have ID. So we have other ID. So it has to all match. So I guess it has to always match when the same thing with when you are doing it in folder too. So it has to match. The columns has to match. So it's the same thing with when you're doing it append. So the combining and the appending are basically the same thing. So I guess so appending is added to the row like the way the combining does. So after doing that, I can just load it the same way I do for that one. I can also use it for my what's it called, for my visualization when I apply it. So but for this one, I cannot just for this one, I cannot be putting, the other one was a folder that I put in, just go and put in the file. But for this one, if I want to put another file, I have to come here again and append the next file. I have to always come and append the next file. Whenever the new one comes, I have to always come and append it. So as far as I append it and it's going to still show the same way. Even my visuals are going to correspond and everything. So we have to always come and append, but in the folder, you just add it there and come and refresh. It will help you do other things by itself. But for this one, you have to always come and append. So come to your Power Query and append the next one. Come to this one, so append the next one. So the it appends it to the row. Then we have another one there too called merge. So you see, append this query to another query in this file. So this one now is merge. So the merge, the append is for the rows. So it's going to add all those data in the rows. The rows has to match, but the merge is for columns. So let's say I want to add a specific column to my data. So I want to add a specific column to my maybe I have the data, I want to add a particular column to it. So I'm going to let me remove all this. Okay, let me close and apply, then close it. No, I'm going to use another Power BI this thing for that. Let me close all this part. So I'm going to open another view. So while it's opening, let me show the data I want to use. Where is that product? Okay, so I'm going to get a folder. So I'm going to also get a folder. So it's loading. So click on folder, click on connect. On folder, click on connect, click on browse. Then I want to okay, it's in desktop. So desktop, yeah, go to desktop. So the one I want to use is cell now. So this, I click on okay, click on okay again. Transform. Not even need to transform, I just combined it. But let's still do so. Just combine from here, combine the file to this coming. Okay, click on okay. Okay. So the Power Query is opened up for us. So this is not the data. This one is. So I have the data here. We have for 20, sorry. We have for 2016, 17, and 18 there. So I have everything combined. So let's say now I have there's another file that I have here that let me look for it. Products. I have a file called products. Where is it? Let me look for it. Yes. I have one file called products. Just to know where I kept it. Doesn't be a program. So I can actually delete data. So this is what I'm looking for here. Product. So copy this. I want to let me put it here. Paste. So this product now, I want to add it. So this product is a text file. So it's a text file. So I want to add the text file. So come to the Power Query I have here. So go to my new source. So I have text slash CSV. So I can text slash CSV is the text or CSV file that I want to bring. I can import it this way. We can desktop, come down to my product, select it, and then import, connect to that data. So it's coming. So I already connected to it. So click on OK. Okay, so now this is my product here. So listen now. You see that in this product I have here, I have it's basically for this sale. You can see in the sale I have products too, I have dates, I have so let's say now I want to bring in a column from this place now that I want to use for my visualization. And I don't want it to be using the two of them. I want to add this one of the column here to this table so that I can also it will be here so that I can do my visualization. So which column should I be adding? Let me check. So the column that is not here, the column that is here that is not here is our category. So let's check that out. So there's no category here. So let's say we want to add a category here, category column to this table I have here. So I want to add a category column to this table. So what I'm going to do is that's where I need to add merge. So as I was saying, the append is to add in rows, add to the rows, add data, another table data to the rows. Then the merge is to add to columns. So you have to add columns. You want to add another column to your table. So what I'm going to do is select this, come to this place. So if I want to merge it and create a new query, I want to create a new file. I don't want to merge it on top of this file. I can merge and create a new query, but I'm going to merge. I want to put it on top of this file. So so I'm going to merge that. Then now so this is the one I selected, which is the sales here. So then come down. Which file do I want to get the other one for? So this product. So now for you to be able to merge, there has to be a table that is corresponding between these two. There has to be a corresponding table. For example, maybe the product. So you can see for this artist, we have product as the corresponding table. So I can send it. So I have product. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this. So, but it's telling me that the column, this thing does not really match, but there's a selection there, but it does not. So what I need to do is I need to use my fuzzy match to perform this. So it's like the closest to it. It has to match, maybe match the closest to it. If I click on OK like this, it's going to just give me no, no, no. So I get it. So I have to make sure that it matches. You see, the same selection matches 0 to 76. So there's nothing that is matching between these two, this thing there. So, but what I need to do, if I use my fuzzy match, you see. So estimated, you see that now I have a match. I have the selection matches 62 of 76 rows in this. So there's a match. So but it's not the reason why the other one was not getting it because it was not a very, very close match. But like it's like I mean like it's not an exact match. There's no but for this one, it's going to give anything that matches something between that place is going to just as far as there's a similarity between the two data, whenever it cross-checks it. So what it's doing is it's going to this product, the first product is going to cross-check with this product we have here. The next one is going to cross-check. So getting it. So as far as there's a match, so it's going to tell us. So we have 62 match of 76 rows. So I get in tables. So I get in. So, but you might not have this issue if your own data that you're using is exactly the match. So I get in this table that I'm using is actually a different distance. It's not a match with this one. So I get in. But if you have a close match, you will not have. So the first time you have it, it's going to show you the full match. But for this, I'm going to use the fuzzy matching to perform this match. So I get in it. So just put this thing there. When you select it, it's going to show you then. After that, you just need to click on OK. After clicking on OK, now there you have the tables, this thing there. So now this place you need to transform the file. So now remember, we want to get a particular column, not all the columns. I want to bring in a particular, and the particular column I want to bring in is the product. Is the product column. So if you want to bring in other columns there too, you can also do that. So, but for me, what I want to bring into this thing is just the product category. So the category, so just select category, then click on OK. So you can see, so this one does not match with the other one. So it's showing me null, but this one matches so now you see, this thing is not the column that I matched. I'm not using the same column that I matched. I'm getting another column. I matched this with product column, but I'm getting the category column. So I'm getting it. So I'm matching this product column, I'm getting the category column. So it's just match. It's just you match. First of all, match the table first of all. And after matching it, then you can bring in any column. As long as there's a match there, it will help you bring in any column you want to bring in to your data. So I guess so the column that I want to bring in is my category column. So I bring my category column in here now. So there are some that does not match. If I look, if you look at it, you can see there. So there are some of them are not matching. This one is not matching. So that's why it have no, there's no match between the two. That's why it has this. There's no match between, but other one they has this match this. A coffee is going to beverages. There's no, I think the coffee is one that there's no match. The green tea, beverages, the blueberry muffins, pastries. So I guess so those are the categories of those products. So I guess so I'm going to now remove this. So I already added what I want to add to this place now. So I want to already add what I want to add to this place now. So I can, another thing I can do is I can remove, if I don't want to use, I don't need the null area, I can remove it. So I can change, replace null with no value. I can say no category. No category. So I give it no category, then I click on OK. So null, anything that is null, put no category to it and click on OK. So you see, replace nulls with no category for it now. So I have my data looking okay now. So after that now, I can now, let me remove this one too. Replace. So now I can also remove the columns I don't want to use. So, but for this one, what I want to do is I want to see the product and I want to see the category that they fall into. So I want to see the different product and I want to see the category. So I can remove some of these columns like this source. This source, I don't need it. So I can remove it. So I can say remove column. So remove column. I can remove the date. I can remove the order if I don't need that. But let me just do that. So what I can do is close and apply. Close and apply. Yes, close and apply that. So it's already closed and applied. So with that closed and applied, I can go to wait. So it's coming, it's loading. Let's wait. Okay, so there's another thing I can do. So for my visualization here now, maybe I don't want this product to show too. I don't want to be seeing this product.
Why is it not showing? Why is it not showing?
Why is what not showing?
The visualization.
No, I've not added any new visualization. This is a new this thing, Power BI. Do you get what I'm saying? This is an I open a new one. This is where the other one is. Do you get it?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I open a new one for this one. I just open a new Power BI face for this one I'm doing now. So that's basically, so maybe I don't now for my visualization, I don't need to use this, so I can just remove it. So I can also remove it. Let's go to, I think, transformation. Let me go to that. Let me turn it off. I don't want it to be loaded, so I click. So you see enable load, I'm going to turn it off because I don't want it to be included. Continue. Enable load, I don't want it to load. But I already loaded it for the first time actually. So you see, it's no longer there because I don't want to use it. So I already removed it. So now, so remember what I want to do. So I want to see the products and their category. So what I can do, I can use normal my table, just simple visual table, put in the products, put in the products. So it's coming, it's loading. Put in the products. Then I have the different products here. So the products are much, I have much products here. So then put in the category that they follow. You can see them now. So the one that does not have category, you see the ones that does not have category. The one that has category, you see the one that has category. So you can also filter by the category. So you can also filter by the category. So let me use my slicer. So I want to know the ones that does not have category in them, and this is my data. So you'll see no category. So I can see the ones that don't have category. You can see the coffee does not have category. Coffee, sand does not have this tea does not have toast, does not have toast, and Boston does not have toast. This so those ones don't have category. For them, there's no match for them in there. That's why they don't have any category. So I guess so I can see the one that fall under beverages. So you can see the one that fall under beverages. You can see pastries. I see the ones that fall under pastries there. I see the ones that fall under food. see the food. So I guess so basically you see you already see what you want to do. Yeah, so if you want to also do other visuals you can do. If you want to see the other ID, so I guess you want to see the other ID by this thing you can do. So you can see the amount too. Let's say I want to see sales amount. Let's see. So this thing is too small. Amount sales. Let me increase this. Let's see. Oh, it's not added. I mean, I already added it to this part. See me. I added it to the slicer, so let me move it back. I don't need amount here. I need amount on this one. So let's put it in there. So you have amount sold for each product and their category and the amount sold of it. So that's the appendix. So the merging is you merge two columns and bring in a specific column from a particular one that you're merging on top. So you can bring in a specific column from any other column. The append is to append to the group. So you append to different, not just like you're combining data. So that's the appending is just like combining data. Then the merge is to bring in a column, a new column to a particular data set. So do you understand that? Do you understand that aspect I just talked about now? Ms. Bumi, do you understand? Mr. Jude?
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
You understand this? Okay. Ms. Bumi, all of you? Ms. Bumi is not saying anything. You don't understand, Ms. Bumi? Mr. Osho, good evening, sir. Mr. Osho, do you understand? So you guys should answer now. Not just mute on me. So I know that you understand before I move to another one. Mr. Osho?
Sorry, you called my name.
Yeah. I said, do you understand? Can you hear me, Ms.
Yes.
Bumi? Okay. Okay, Mr. Osho, do you understand? Mr. Kojo?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. I don't know if Mr. Shaw is because it's not saying anything. Okay, so let's move on. So I have that there now. So after doing my videos, yeah. So that's the append and other. So there are other stuff we can also do on our Power Query. So let me go back to that Power Query again. So I already talked about some of them in the last class. You can pivot and unpivot. So pivot is converting the pivot is converting a column to a row, and the pivot is converting a row to a column. So because of time, I'm not going to go into that part. So I'm going to go into the other ones we've not talked about. So if you don't, you can check the last video I dropped is there, so you can go through it. So that's that. Then I already talked about enter data. Let me go to the column, adding column. So add column. Yes. So here is I can add different columns depending on how I want to add the column. So let's say so I'm going to bring in a new data for this part. Let me just bring in a new data. Yeah, I want one data I want to use for this. So Excel file. Okay, where's my I think it's in download. So let's wait for that to connect. So I want to get all this. I'm going to be using them for the stuff I want to do. So select this, select this, and click on OK. Okay. So let me fill this down. I rename the column. So I'm going to replace the column, the header. I'm going to replace the header with first row. So I have this. So I have this here now. So let's say now I want to create another column now. For example, now I want to create a column that, yeah, I have these different products here. I have the category name of the product and I have an item for that. So the items and they have their brand. So I guess they have their brand. And some of these items does not have brand. For example, you can see it now. You have the again here, it does not have any brand. The t-shirt, no brand. So everything. So let's say I want to find out the one that has brand and the one that does not have brand. So I guess we want to know the one that has brand, the one that does not have brand. So what we need to do is we use our column. We want to create another column. So we also knowing by we knowing it, we want to also know, want to also see them. So I guess so we want to also display the ones that has it and the ones. So what we can do is we can create a column, a new column, telling us one that any of these products here that is branded and the one that are not branded. So I guess it. So what I can do with that is select the first column here, and I can come to conditional column. So come to conditional column here. So on the conditional column now, I can put what I want. So the name of which column that I want to use. So I want to use the item column. And what I want to do, so I want it to contain. So you have other things you can do. Does not contain, contains, does not end with. So you can create a column from any one of these. So the one I want to use is contains. I want to create a column from any that contains. If this data contains. So what for this for you to know the one that has brand, you have to have this space hyphen space. So I get it. So this space minus space, you have to have something like that. So what I can do is just use that as the distance. So I can see it has to have space minus space. Then if it contains that, you should put branded for me. So I'll put branded. So but if it does not contain that, you should put on unbranded. So if it contains that, put branded. If it does not contain that, so if it contains this thing, create a column and name the column for that part branded. Or if it does not contain, name it unbranded. So I'm going to, after that, just click on OK. So it's going to create a new column for me. And in that new column, I have the ones that have that stuff will be branded. The one that does not have it will be unbranded. So I can do the ones that are branded here now, and the ones that are not branded, so that if I load into my data, I can find out the one that are branded and the one that are not. But maybe I want to know the that are branded. And so this is basically an example you can want to do. Maybe like for student score, if the student that reach a particular score, this if you reach a particular score, should get this. So I guess that's that if it's excellent or pass, whatever I want to put it. So you can do any of them, any one of that to that. But for this, I'm just doing this. So I'm going to give it a name. So brand. So I can put. I'll just put a name there. Brand. Just simple name. So then let me load it. So if I then load it now, I load it. I'm sorry. To load it, come to your home and click on close and apply. So close and apply, and I go to that place and my use my visualization to do whatever I want to do with it. So if I want to see the items that are branded, I can do that. If I want to see the ones that are not branded, I can also use my visuals to show that. So I guess it. So but I'm going to also show another one. So you can also drive a column by example. So I want to drive a column by example. Let's say I want to create a column from all columns. I want to create a column from all columns. So select. So which column I want to create? So I can just give it a first example. So this one is just basically copying another column that you have there. So you want to copy another column. So I want to copy this casual column here. So just put casual. So select that. Enter. So you see, it helps me do other ones. So you see, it creates just copy this column you have here and put it in here. So I copy this. I have this here, and I copy it and put it here. So this is the copy of this stuff I have here. Just copying it to this part. That's basically that. So this one I have here, just copying it here. That's basically what I can do with that.
How did you get that function? That copy function?
How did I get what?
Copy.
I can't hear you.
I said, how did you get? Where did you click on for that copy to come up?
Okay, the copy, Abby. Okay, what I is I just entered. I mean, okay, the name is conflicting. Let me do it again. I'm going to remove this column. So basically, what I did is I want to copy and like this column. So I just copy column from example. So copy column from example here now. So basically, I just need to give it one example. So I guess I just give you one example. If it's this one I want to copy, I just give you one example. If it's this one I want to copy, if it's this column, the item column I want to copy, I'll just give you one example from that one. But I want to copy the casual wear, so I will just copy the casual wear is my example, first example. Select it. And just click on OK. That's what I did. Clicked on. Just click on OK. If you click on OK, it's just going to copy that column for you. This uh, category name column for you, and put it here. So click on OK. You have that here. You have it created for you. Do you understand the Miss Bumi?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I have another one. We have another one called custom column. So, but this one is basically okay, just like concatenate. So I guess maybe you want to concatenate two words together. I guess like we will use our concatenate. So let's say I want to join this 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 column now, this item column and the brand. So I want to join them together in another column. So what I can do is I can use custom column to do that. I can use custom column to do that. So basically what I need to do is say I want to join this one, this item column here. I want to join it. So to join, I need to put my ampersand, which is my n, my ampersand, that's your n symbol, and symbol. That is in my and symbol. And after that, then put in quotes, like the way we do in the other one. Quotes, remember, quotes in the middle of this. So you can put, if you want space, if you want to separate them by space, you put space. If you want to separate them by comma, you put comma. If you want to separate them by any delimiter like hash, you put hash in between here. So anything you want to separate them with, you put it there. So let me just put comma as my delimiter. Then do my ampersand again. Then select the next thing. So I want the brand column that I want to add. I will click on it. You have that there. So you see that no syntax error here. So you can just click on OK. Let's see. So you have those two things there separated by a comma. So you have the JC and the brand, the JC demeanor and the brand. So you see, so you can easily know that this one is branded now. See the branded ones, branded and the unbranded ones. So then I think I should have used what's it called? I should have used what's it, let me use this thing. Minus sign off to do that. So that would look a bit better than this one. So I'm going to add item name minus, okay, sorry. First of all, put your ampersand, then your quote, then ampersand again, then the column you want to put together, then put in your delimiter. So my delimiter should be this. Sorry, my delimiter should be something like this. So this one is now. I already made a mistake here. So let me cover this back. So that's my mistake. So put in my delimiter back. Okay. So I can have it there now. So I have the use and the branded, unbranded on there. So that's the custom column. So we have another one called index. So index is basically to create numbers for you, just like index number, like ID. I use it to create something like an ID. So if I want to create index, just click index column. You just create an ID for me from 0 to the amount of the column I have there. So just create from 0 to the amount of column I have there. So I can move because I want to make it my ID. So move it to behind here. Then name it ID. So I can do something like so. I can use my so then next one is just duplicate column. Just like the column from example, you just want to duplicate a column. You click duplicate column. That column that I had there will be duplicated. So I just duplicate that column that I had on that part. I just duplicated that column to this part. So yeah, I have the column duplicated now. So I have the column duplicated at this part here. So now what I can do is I basically remove, but I don't need that, so I'm just going to remove it. So, but basically what I needed, I just wanted to show you guys other ones, but what I needed for my visual for this thing I have here is just the branded. That's what I wanted to do, so I can use it to do my visual inside there. I get it. That's just the branded. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to delete all this here. So come to here, and then I can just remove column. So I want to remove column. I have that column removed. So that's another thing you can do. So still on that, you can also merge your columns. So you have two columns, you can merge them together. I select these two columns, I want to merge them together. I can merge them, come to merge column. So they're going to ask me which separator do I want to merge them with. So you can use comma, equal sign, semicolon, space. So space, and click on okay. So you have them merged with space. So now, but think how you mentioned it is the branded is coming because we selected the branded first and this one second. So, but the branded is coming first, and you have the space, then the brand, the GC, and the brand name. So let me redo that. Then come here and select match columns. Match column with face. Okay. So I have that. It's going the other way now because I already selected it the right way. So I have my list in there with space. So do you understand? That's how you can add columns. You can create columns by conditions. You can create column by, from example, from custom, and then index. So for this invoke, that's the last I'm going to talk the invoke. I'm going to bring in another table for that invoke. Okay, I'm going. Let me go to this one. Not this one. I want to open one. Users Excel. Why never I kept that table? So I created a small table myself. I created a small table that I'm going to use to explain the work. So let's see. Spreading sheets. Okay. So this invoke is basically use let's say I want to create a function now, and then I want to invoke that function to what's it called? To a table. I was going to use that function created to create a table. For example, now let's say I have in this place I have my employee ID, I have the name, I have work rate and work hours. So I guess work hours worked. So I guess so now let's say I want to get the total amount I'm going to pay the person. So I guess I want to know how much I'm going to pay the person. So let's say and what I want to do to just to do that, I want to add. Let's say just for example, I want to add what is it called? I want to times these two together. So I guess I want to times. I can do this in my listing with my measure, but I can also use my invoke to do that. So what I can do is create a new query. So create a new query. So the query I want to create is a blank query. So create a blank query. Then in this blank query, what I want to do is I want to do equals to. I want to create a function in this blank query. I want to create a function. So equals to. In this case, I want to say hours. Hourly rate, hourly rate, hourly rate as number. This is just creating a function. I'm just creating a hourly rate as a number. Hourly rate as a number. Then as a number, just put it as a number. Then comma. And I want to put the hours worked in this table, hours worked as a number too, as number. So I want to do them to be as number. Then I want, when they are both of them as number now, to I want to add them together. So I want to create, like I want to multiply them by each other. So what I'll do is put in this to create the multiplication, like the, so this is what I'm writing is an M query. So I guess this one is advanced, is for using your advanced editor to do something like this. But why I'm doing this is I want to show you how to invoke a function. So I guess invoke a query. So I guess invoke a column. That's what I want to use this for. So I guess, but talking this one, writing something like this, you're going to still get to that part later. But for this one, just an example to how to invoke that. This, that's what I'm trying to do. So now after writing this now, then I want to put in. So I want to remember, I want to add them together. I want to times them together. So what I will do is call them out. So in this, I'll say equals to hourly rate. So put in my times, hourly rate times. So if it's plus I want to do, I'll put plus. If it's times I want to times them, I put times hours work, times hours work. So hourly rate times hours work. Then so it creates a function for me now. So I already created a function like this now. Right? And I already created a function like this now. So what I can do is when I go to that my column now, which is this sheet. So I want to bring this function now that I did there. What I did is remember what I want to get. I want to add the hourly rates and the hours worked together. I want to add them together and I want to get the answer. So I guess so what I can do now is I created a function already. So what I can do is invoke that function I created. That's what I can use. The invoke. That's what I can use the invoke custom function. So if I use invoke custom function and come here, so they will ask me what's the name of the column that I want. So it become back. Remember that the invoking it, I want to create a column with it. So I want to create a column with that function that I want to invoke. I want to create a column with it. A column that's the salary pay. For example, this is I want to create salary pay. That's for example, salary pay. Then now here I say find a function query. So this is the query I'm looking for. This query one. So then here they will tell me to select the hourly rate column. So column name. So here select hourly rate. Then hours work. So here I'll change this to not decimal. I'll change it to column name. Then select hours worked. So with this now, if I click on OK, so create a column. But now in that column is multiplying these two things together based on the function that I already created. So I already created this function now. So basically created this function. So based on this function that I created, by invoking the function, I'm going to create another column, adding the function I already created here. So the function I created here is adding the hourly rate together, hourly rates and the hours worked together, to get the salary pay. So adding them together, I created a function. After creating the function, I invoke the function. So invoking that function, anything that the function, any answer that function is meant to give me, use it to create a column for me. That's what the invoke column function means. It's basically invoking a function I already created and kept down. The function can be adding two columns together. So adding two columns together. With that, you can just create something like that and just invoke it as a new column. It creates a column. So if you invoke it as a column, that's this thing you added there, the calculation you made there is going to be invoked as a column, and that's what we have here. So if I do it as a plus, if I put plus instead of my times here, if I put plus instead of my times here, and I press enter, it should refresh and add. So you see, 60 plus 39 is now adding instead of multiplying. So what I want to do is multiply. So I put in the multiplication sign there. I put in the multiplication sign there, and then I have my column invoked, my function invoked already for a column. So I getting it. So for the function, you don't need to worry about it. So basically what I want you to understand here is the column invoking custom function. So I getting it. Creating the function is another different this entirely. So I getting it. Creating the function is we're going to go into the M language. You know how to create function and all that. So I getting, but basically what we want to do here, what we want to understand here is how to invoke a function. So we already created the function here, which is this what we did here, adding these two things together. That's the function we created. Then invoke it to create a column in this our sheet that we have here. Do you understand? The invoke.
Please,
Please,
I have a
I
question.
don't understand.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Kojo.
Please, I
Mr.
want to
Kojo?
know where you click to go to invoke.
Yeah, I
I've seen
created.
it. Okay, I've seen it. Invoke custom function.
Your network is like I didn't understand, but let me. I think I heard what you said. So you said where I click to go to invoke. So
Yes.
to invoke, you come to add column. See add column here. This is the invoke column.
Okay.
You see it here now. So add column invoke. So as far as the function is already created, you can invoke that function with the invoke column function. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Bimi, you have a question to ask before you say, so you can ask a question.
How do you now come out after invoking the column? How do you now come with different fields like hours works, hourly rate, and like I saw you
Because
multiplying and having something.
yeah, because hourly works is not just one column now. It's just one data. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything we have. So all these ones there is adding all of them together, not just. So our hourly rate is adding everything under hourly rate. The column, this column now, it adds these two together and get the answer. It adds these two together, and that's basically what I wrote here in this function query. So everything, I'm just adding these two numbers together. I'm just adding like this hourly rate now. I want to put it as a number, and this hourly work, I want to put it as a number. And then after putting it as a number, I want to times the both of them together. After times the both of them together, that's the function. I already created the function. That's the function
Okay.
created already. Do you get it? So then I come here now and I invoke the function. So invoking the function, basically what I did there is to add the both of them together. So basically it's going to add the two of them together and give me that answer for that part. Go to the next one, add it for that part and give me. Go to the next one, add it and give me. Go to the next one and add it and give me. So I can use this now. Like this now, I can take it to my Power BI this thing, and then I can now use it to do my visualization, showing them each person what they are going to get paid. So I guess each person is going to get paid this salary, this is their salary, this is going to get paid this amount. So I guess so, but this thing here is just for fun. You can also do something like this. I don't actually do something like this with this. So if you want to, you can use that to do something like this. That's in your measurement. You can use your measurement to do something like this. So that means timesing two columns together and getting your answer. You can do that with your measurement. So I guess you can do that, but you can also do it with your function too, where you add these two together like that. So do you understand? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So our time is already.
Please, I also want to know how calculated the salary pay.
Salary fee. Salary pay, right?
Yes.
That's basically what I'm talking about here. So how I calculated it is using I use function. I use function, M language function. That's what I use to calculate both of them together. So it's basically, okay, let me just show you how to calculate that. In that, you need to first of all create a query. Let me delete this. Let me just show you how to do this one. Yeah. Then when we go, we'll see more about them. Let me just show you how to do this. Let me delete this. This query cannot be deleted because it's being referenced. Oh, I'm already using it. Let me go. It's showing something. Let me just create another query. It's showing the same thing. Let me share blank query. So basically, in this blank query, what I want to create is just a function. I want to create a function. The function I want to create is I want to add the hourly rate and I want to add the hourly rate and the hours worked together. I want to add them together. So I getting it? I want to multiply them. So I want to multiply the both of them so I can get the salary pay. So I getting it? So what I'll do is I'll say equals to. But to do that now, I want to use my invoke column, but I want to use my invoke column to invoke a function that I'm going to write that is going to have the calculation of those hourly rates and the hours worked multiplied together. So I'm going to use my invoke function to do that. So I want to create the function which I'm going to be invoking. So the function I'm going to be invoking is combining the two of them together, which is hourly rate multiplied by this. So I'm going to create, first of all, put my equals to sign in this my formula bar here. Put my equals to sign here. Sorry. So put my equals to sign in this my hourly rate here. So put my equals to sign here, put bracket, then I put hour. First of all, I need to convert it to it, like make it hourly rate should be treated as a number. So you treat an hourly rate as a number because I want to add them together. So I want this function to treat hourly rate as a number, then comma, treat hourly hours worked as a number too. Treat hours worked as a number too. And after that, now I want to now create a calculation adding the both of them together. So I want to create a calculation multiplying the both, not adding. Saying adding, multiplying the both of them together. So what after that, so to do that, I put my equals to and my that means I want to add this. I want to create a function for this. So what I'll do is hourly rate. Then what do I want to do? Is it plus or I want to minus or I want to times? So what I want to do is times. I want to times hourly rate and this together. So I'll say hourly rate and hours worked. So hours worked. So add them together now. I just want to add the two together. So I already created the function now. So what I will need to do is after creating the function now, so I go to the column I want to add it. Remember, this is not ready. So I want to add that the calculation of these two things together, like adding these two things together, I want to add it to this column. So now, and to add it column, I need to invoke that function that I did there. So invoking the function will give me the answer of that function as a column. We're going to create a new column with that answer of that function. So all I'm going to do is just click here to invoke the function, then give it a name. So it's going to be salary pay. So salary pay. Then which what's it called? Function I want to use. So it's query 2. So query 2, and then it's going to tell me to select the hourly rate column and then select the hours worked column. So for this one, hourly rate column should be this. Then come here, put this. See, string is this one, but what you want to select is column name. So put column name, then select the hours worked. So hours worked selected, and this. So it's going to give us the multiplication of these two things together. So if you see, if it's plus, you add there, it's going to give you plus. If it's multiplication, you add there, it's going to give you multiplication. So plus, half plus. So it's plus or half plus. So you see, 60 plus 39 is going to give us 99. 70 plus 50 will give us 120. 50 plus 26, 76. 80 plus 36, 116. So do you get it now?
Yes, I get it.
Okay. So that's nice. So any other question? Because we're going to end this. Time is already 9:09. So any question before I call it a day? Is there any question? Okay, hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Mr. Kessler.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where you inserted that function, that what do you call it now? That formula.
Wait, yeah.
Can we go back there?
Yeah.
Is it possible to go back there?
Yeah, I'm there now, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. You use equals to here. Use equal to here.
Equals to and greater than. Yeah.
Yes, so here now you use equals to and greater than, Abi. Or what is this sign?
Basically, what it means is that this thing converts to a number. I want to pass in this calculation to it. That's basically what this does. So if I want to do any calculation, I already called out the two this thing here.
So
already called out.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Mr. Kisling.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was looking at that. Yes, I was looking at that screen, thinking that you'll be looking the way I'm pointing my icon to. I'm so sorry for that. You are not getting my question. You will get it now.
Okay.
Now, we started with equals to.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Hourly, we
yeah.
equals to, then we create the brackets ourselves, open and close bracket. We create it by ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Then we type, I rate as number, comma,
Yeah.
hours worked as number, then
Yes.
bracket close. Immediately after bracket close, what are we going to put? Is it equals to, right?
No, now, if you want to convert, if you just want to convert these two as a number, after doing something like this, you can just leave it. So I getting it. Do you understand what I'm saying? After doing something, if you don't convert it to number, you already did it as a number now. But now,
that line is breaking.
yeah, the sound, Abby. Are you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so as I was saying, so as if you already did, like, if you just wanted to convert them as a number, you just wanted to put them as a number, if after doing this now, you can just leave it. It's already done. But what we want to do is after converting them, we want to add them together. So I get it. So basically, what this one means here, this equals to and greater than means is after converting these two things as a number, we already converted these two things. We said equals to. I want our hourly rate to be as a number. So I guess want our hours worked to also be as a number. Then it goes back. That's another function. So after that now, after converting them as a number, we want to pass in this. We want to pass in a calculation to it. And the calculation we want to pass into it is we want to add the both of them together as they have converted them to a number. For this one we have here now, you see we have plus there. So we want to add the both of them together. So basically, this sign we have here now is adding this thing here. So after creating this, so we want to now add this thing is basically by saying us that we want to pass in the next formula that we're going to put in. We want to pass it into that hourly rates and hours worked that we've converted as a number that we've put as a number. We want to now add the both of them together. Do you basically understand? So if I want to do another thing now, I can add another thing there. That's what I want to pass into it. So I already converted it as a number that I want to use. So because this thing I want to do to it is calculation. I want to add the both of them together. And adding the both of them together, they have to be a number. Do you understand
Hello,
now?
Mr. Kisley.
You understand now?
I quite understand. Yeah, I get the way you actually put everything.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. What I'm saying is this. Immediately this after this comma, is it equals to that we put here immediately?
Okay, the comma.
After the comma.
No, you don't put equals to.
The close bracket.
Okay, after the bracket, right? After the last bracket.
Yes, after close.
The bracket, yeah, I get. After you close the bracket. No, it's not equals to. Okay, you're not seeing it very well. It's not equals to. It's equals to and greater than. So this is the sign to pass in something to another number. So
equals to greater than.
Yeah, not just equals to. Yeah.
That's what I want to get.
Okay, so
that's equals to greater than.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was together. So that's why
is that what we make the formula function well?
Yeah. No, basically what it means now is that we are passing this. So we've converted these two things to number now. They're already number now. So we want to add the calculation to them. That's basically why we're adding these two things. If you just remove it, the calculation will not be added to them. So I guess we're telling this our formula now, the function that we're trying to add this calculation we have to this number that we already to these things that we already converted to numbers. So we want to add them together. That's what we want to do to them. So to do that, we need to put our equals to greater than first, then pass in the calculation we want to do. Do you get it now, sir?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Kisley. Thank you so much.
Sir. So then after that now, we can now come into our this thing, then invoke the function, and we have the calculation we made there, we have it in here. So that's how we invoke column. So you just need to first of all create the invoking is very simple, just creating the function. That's the hard thing. So if you after creating the function that you want to use, then you can come in here and just do your invoke and invoke your column into invoke the function into your as a column, then have the answer there. So hope we all understand. I hope we all understand.
Yes.
So no other question, so that I can call it today. No other question. Is there any other question? Yeah, so in absence of any other question, I am going to call out my assignment. So your assignment is create a data. You can let's be just a short data. I'm going to drop a data that you're going to transform for me, make it cleaner, and that's that first one. I'm going to give you a data that has like things that you need to clean up for me. I'm going to send it to the group, but that's the first assignment, to clean up the data I'm going to send. And the second assignment is I want you to create a data yourself, like what I did. I have monthly data. Like I said, I have monthly data that are coming in every month for me that I need to use. So I get in it. So I want you to create like January, February, I just put in the data there, just put in data that correspond in each listing. So you can put in like sell ID, order ID, amount sold, units price. So just put in data there. So I guess just put in simple data there. Then basically what I want you to do is import them as a folder and combine them together. So after doing that to them too, you can you can you just need to do it as a practice so that you also get a hang of it. So you can just create more and keep adding it to them. Then another thing you also do is you also create another one that you append. So what you can do is maybe you have the February, you have the January, February, March, this is, we have them in different formats. So you can you create them in Excel first, then convert it to PDF, and convert it to text file. So I guess just need it in different. So let's just say that it's something that are in different places and we're importing them differently. So I guess that's another one. Then import them yourself. Then after importing them, you can now append them to each other. So append maybe you bring in the Excel file, which is the January first, append the Excel, January, February. Append the February, which is going to be like in PDF. Bring in PDF too. Append that. Then you can bring the what's it called? Text file and append them. So the way would have been better if we were doing like the MySQL, but we're not going to that part. To do that part, we need to go and install SQL and all of that and create them for to do that one. So I guess but basically just do the Excel file, the PDF, so you can create it in Excel first and then convert it to all this one I'm talking. Then import them. After importing them, then append them together, append them to each other, append them to append the them to each other. Then you can just apply it to your Power BI and just do it. Just do small visuals there. Just do little visuals. So basically, my assignment is I'll give you a data that you are going to clean up. So data is going to be looking bad. You just look at it. You should always know what you're going to. So you can see the one that you can do something like use first row as header, remove null. You can replace null value with empty. You can delete some columns that doesn't have anything inside it. You can do that. So I guess in it. So that just clean the data up and make it look better to be visualized. So I guess in it. That's that one. Then you create a monthly sales report that you get monthly sales data that your company sends. Let me just an example that a company sends to you that you need to visualize for them every month. So put it in a folder. Then you can just create like two first, the first month, January and February, then put it in a folder and put it into your listing, combine it and do everything you want to do to it. Then you can create other ones and keep putting it and just refresh it. Just go through it yourself and see how that one works too. So I guess you can do a visual with it. Then the last one is create a file. The same thing monthly. It can be monthly. This one can be monthly or yearly. So I guess you just play around with it. Just get yearly or monthly. Then okay, let me give
Mr. Kingsley.
Let me give an, yeah, I can hear you.
You have mentioned so many these things. I would advise you articulate these things and just post it down.
Okay, I should type it myself, right? I'm just repeating. Yeah, I'm just repeating what I just said
writing
before.
what you are mentioning. They are quite more. So articulate what you want us to do.
Okay, no, I'll type it out. I'm just repeating what I said before. That's why I'm doing.
Yes.
So I'm going to type it out and send it. So don't worry. I'll send the file to clean up. Then I'll send what you are meant to do. I'll type it out then. I'll send it and also send the recording. I'll try to edit it this night and I'll send it for you to go through. So without any other question, I'm going to call it a day. So thanks to all for coming. See you next Saturday. Bye. Good night.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Mr. Kisley.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Good night.
welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good night. Yeah.